It's that time again. It's the Berkey and the Badger Board Game Babble Show. It's going to get wild. It's going to get wacky. It might even get a little zany. We're going to talk about board games and the board game industry. And, you know, we might talk about anything else we want to talk about.
Ha ha ha! It's that time again. Episode 50.
Woo! 50.
Pulling at your heartstrings.
It's only taken us 2 years to do 50 episodes.
2 years, 50 episods. Yeah, this is like a milestone. I didn't even think of that.
No. Well, like 2.5, maybe.
Why didn't we do something like big, grandiose, spectacular 50th episode?
Because that sucks, mate. That just sucks.
No, that's beautiful. We could have like a bouncy gym where we could all jump on the bouncy gym or something.
It's quite an achievement. Congratulations on 50. That's a lot of work.
Yeah, in 2 years.
Well, for those of you who see, we have the illustrious, the godfather of board gaming himself, Mr. Scott Alden from Board Game Geek. Thanks, Scott, for coming on the show.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, this is awesome. Well, I remember, Scott, the first time I met you, and it was in a layover in, I believe it was in Chicago, and when we were going to Origins, and I knew who you were, of course, but I had never met you, and I really wanted to, and I was able to come over and talk to you during that layover, and just right away I was like, I really like that guy.
I thought the same thing about you too. I thought I hadn't really talked to you very much, and it was nice to chat after. Was that before or after? I can't remember. I think it was after, right?
I think it was after.
Yeah, we were all leaving town, and yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, that was really cool. I love the fact in the hobby that we have these encounters with one another, and we start that process of developing relationship and all of that.
I remember the first time we met as well, Scott. I can't remember which Essen it was. It was an Essen. Yeah. And, I used to spend all my Essens, before I actually went to Essen, I used to watch all the Board Game Geek live streaming. Right. And I was okay, that's Lincoln. Okay, that's Mickey. That's okay. And that's Scott. Okay. And then I walked past the booth one day, and I was, looking over, and I go, oh, there's Lincoln. Ooh, like fanboy. And then you're selling stuff on the side, and you go, hey, Barry. And I'm like, he knows my name. And it was like, my God. But it was one of those kind of moments where I was in my, fanboy phase, and it was like, wow, Scott, he knows me.
Now it's like whatever.
Essen's
a weird thing. Like, I would like to meet more people, but there really is it's not a great place to like chat.
No,
it's so crazy and loud, and you're just, hey, how's it going? And you're walking by with your games, and it's just it's a little too long. Sitting in an airport is a little easier to talk and stuff, but when you're at Essen, it's just a little bit challenging to have a heart-to-heart with somebody in that environment.
Yeah, you can really open up and relax, but in a big event like that, there's no chance. Oh, it's like you've either got something to do, or they've got something to do and somewhere to be, and it's like,
yeah. Unless you're like going to play a game or something.
Yeah, or you're actually playing a game together, even.
Yeah. That's what I like about the Gen Con. We do that hot games room, and you can just play in there, right? It's not the hustle and bustle of the open gaming room.
Yeah, and especially being over at the Hyatt like that, you've got a really nice lobby area where people can chill, go get a coffee, but then they can come up to the hot games room and not have that chaos.
Yeah. We're doing it again next year, I hope.
Awesome. Are you thinking it's going to be at the Hyatt again?
Most definitely, yeah. We want to do it at the Hyatt. It's just easy because we stay at the Hyatt, and there's a bit of work to run that hot games room. It's like I think we had a team of 8 people around the clock, and we it was like open for like 14 hours. So
yeah, no, it was great.
Bit of work.
It wasn't the glass cock room then.
No, the glass cock room.
Not like the glass cock room. No. There's nothing like the glass cock room.
Oh dear.
For those of you that don't know, we're not being nasty. That is actually the name of a room at BGG Con, where this is like the central hub of where all the big decisions are made.
Yeah, it's the war room of BGG Con. So
the war room. But they've got printers and laminators and lanyards and stacks of games and treats. They've got a lot of treats in there.
Yes. I've heard.
I think that's why Lance comes to that room. He likes the treat. He likes the Snickers bar.
So while we're on the subject, let's talk about what we've been up to. And obviously, you guys have been at the BGG Con.
Yep.
Exactly.
Talk about us. What happened? What was the highlights and lowlights? I doubt there was any lowlights.
Yeah, go ahead, Scott. Tell us what you thought.
So this is our 13th year.
Wow.
Can you believe that? It's pretty crazy, right?
Yeah.
Starting in 05. Yeah. So we had 3,000 attendees, right about 3,000. And
cool.
I think we had about 80 vendors, I think was the final number. We filled. Yep. The way it works is we have a 20,000 square foot ballroom. We have the whole entire hotel, the Hyatt Regency at DFW Airport. And really it's all about the gaming, right? We bring the library of games, which I think this year we brought just right at 6,000 games.
It's a fantastic library. In my opinion, it's the best library of any of the conventions I've been to. I mean,
it's definitely been my goal to make that library kick ass. Like, I want every game, right? Like, I try to get every game, every new release for the year that's there. Because it's about the new games, right? Like,
yeah.
The people who come to BGG Con are right on the cutting edge of board games, I guess, and they want to play the new stuff. I mean, not saying that the old stuff gets played. I actually played a game of Bonanza at BGG Con, which is kind of fun. I forgot how good that game is. It was just so fun. Yeah, so we had 3,000 attendees, 6,000 board games, open 24 hours. You could play all day, all night. We had the Hot Games Room this year with a special edition of adding game toppers to it. So we had 30. Like Berkey and I worked out a deal to get 30 table. I keep saying table toppers. I apologize. Yeah. Game toppers to the Hot Games Room, and we set them up. And then you got the special mats printed for us too, the inlays, and they just looked cool. It was like blue and orange checkerboard.
They were fantastic. I wonder if I can. I think I can even. Let me see if I can pull up a picture, because it was just spectacular how that room looked, and the people that they're playing all the hot games. But I would go over there. I had my top hat on, and I would maneuver around a little bit, and people were just loving it. I mean, it was like. It was awesome.
No, it was very cool because, when you're in a convention, a lot of times you'll get a table with even sometimes no tablecloth, and it's kind of a rough area. And so these kind of stepped it up a bit. Well, a lot actually. I mean, they were nice. It was nice to play. I played a couple games of Azul on there, and it was great.
It was amazing when we delivered the toppers. We had a problem with the freight elevators not being able to take these pallets because there was 30 game toppers, 30 of them. I mean, this was
which is actually 60 boxes.
Yeah,
because they're in two boxes, which
comes in two halves. And so just give it to geek ingenuity. What did we do?
I cannot believe that. Well, they were bringing them down one by one. They were shouldering them with one person, and those things are just kind of clunky to hold. They're big. I mean, they're about 4 by 4 feet, maybe even bigger than that.
Exactly. Yeah, about 35 pounds.
So what eventually was decided was we were going to slide them down the handrail that goes down the stairs into the gaming area. And there was about 20 people there, and we were just kind of handing them down, and they were sliding down the rail.
It was remarkable.
I think somebody took a video of it, and it was just kind of crazy. It was just like, wow. I just didn't want anybody to get hurt. That was my biggest concern.
Yeah, insurance.
Believe me, that stuff doesn't swing in a unionized convention hall. This luckily was not one of those.
Yeah, right.
But it was we figured it out. We got them downstairs, set them up. and now we've got 30 game toppers for the future of BGG Con.
Cool.
We just use them every year now.
Yeah, I was really thrilled to be able to help with that. I'm not finding the picture. If you go to
Yep. Go ahead.
If you go to boardgametheater.com or Game Toppers on Facebook, you'll see the pictures of all the BGG. But I mean, it just was so spectacular, and what a joy to see how many people just loved playing on them. It really enhanced it, like you said, Scott. And many kudos to you to make that commitment to make your convention just another notch, above what normally can be offered.
Bam. Well, thank you. And Berkey did a lot of hard work to get these things done in time. It was a short turnaround, which is not easy in the manufacturing world.
If you only knew, Scott. If you only knew.
Yeah, that's why it's taken us 2 years to do 50 episodes, because he's like, oh, I've got 4 more tables to make before the next one, Barry. Sorry.
Yep.
Well, the thing I love about BGG Con, because it's really one of my favorite conventions, Origins is right up there at the top, BGG Con, and I like Dice Tower Con as well. And I think the reason for me is that it's a little bit more of an intimate setting. And even though Origins might have like 17,000 people, it doesn't feel like the chaos of Gen Con, for instance. BGG Con, it's like they've got all these wonderful rooms up in the top part of the hotel where people go. Like we had the board game group meetup with Larry with Larry Cruz, Mo, and Brian Wilkett and all the heavy cardboard guys were all up there. And so we just had this great time doing this meetup where we all got together, gave away, had a big giveaway and playing games and just having fun. Every people would go off to the little sections, or you go in the main hall and the roof is so tall that you don't feel like there's this huge buzz of noise.
Yeah, those tall ceilings in those big ballrooms are important. Helps keep the noise to a dull roar instead of a roar. Still pretty loud, but you can teach a game in there. Like I taught a couple games there, had no problem.
Well, and the BGG staff is so helpful. I mean, the
volunteer staff we have is amazing. Yeah.
Oh, they're so well trained, but they're also just good-hearted people, and they're easy to find. And we had several people. We learned the game Merlin from a gentleman that was one of the geek staff that came over, and he was just thrilled to teach us the game. And boy, that helps so much, right?
When you're passionate, yeah, it does.
They learned probably like 20 games apiece of how to teach them. There's kind of a core crew of the Hot Games Room volunteers that they just want to teach games all day. They'll play some stuff, but they definitely love the teaching and spreading the love. I mean, because that's something that we kind of don't really have to do, right? I mean, as a convention runner, having staff to learn 30 games to teach, or 20, it's just
these are big games.
These are big games. These are the hot games, right?
Yeah, these are heavy Euros. A lot of them.
Yeah, Agra took 30 minutes to teach.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Boy, that thing looks beautiful on the board, though, huh?
Yes, but I have not got a chance to really play it yet, but it looks nice. Definitely a lot going on in that game, I think.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to play Clans of Caledonia and got to play it with Mike Fitzgerald and Ralph Anderson. And okay. Ralph did the rules teaching of it. And it was a little bit of a long teach. We were first play, so you know how that goes. But we were playing that game, and as we were getting into it, we were having a lot of fun with our engine building and what we were doing. And then after about 3 hours, it started feeling like, okay, this is okay. Maybe this isn't as good as I thought, but it's good. But
yeah, sometimes those long games are a little bit challenging to finish in a convention environment, right? Because there's so much going on, especially with those guys. You guys probably got interrupted a lot.
All the time.
That can happen. That can happen in a convention, and the long games you can do them if you really focus, but they're definitely a little more challenging to get through.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to play Gentis as well, and that was a thick game. I mean, that took a little bit to get through it.
There was definitely a big list of gamers games that came out at Essen this year, so I'm kind of looking forward to digging into some of those.
Well, now Tasty Minstrel is picking up Gentis and going to make a deluxeified version of it. So that sounds really interesting.
Right. Did you get a chance to play Altiplano?
Oh, no, I saw people playing that a lot. That's with the llamas and all that.
Llamas or alpacas?
Alpaca.
Whatever you want to call it. Alpaca. I don't know. What's the difference between a llama and alpaca?
The spit. The consistency of spit.
Yeah. No, it's one of those bag building games, right? Where you're putting tokens in your bag, drawing them out, and doing stuff with those. It was pretty cool.
Kind of like Orleans.
Much like Orleans.
Wow. Yep. Yeah, I just think, and one thing that's kind of nice about Board Game Geek too is the only thing that I wish was different was that the vendor hall, all of the vendors were in the same place.
Right.
Because there's actually two vendor. What's that?
Yeah, we wish that too.
There's for those of you who haven't gone to BGGCon, I'd highly recommend it. It's just a great convention, great feel, that kind of thing. But they one thing that if you're not comfortable going to a large convention, you can still get a pretty good feel because a lot of the vendors are there and they're showing a lot of the games that might have even just got released from Essen. Stronghold Games is always bringing a potload of games there.
Yep.
This year was a little different in that there was I don't know if we want to say there's controversy. I don't think there really was, but that we had a competing convention out in Philadelphia called PAX Unplugged, right. And a lot of vendors had to make a decision. Okay, we've got this new upcoming convention that could really produce a ton of sales with heavy volume. I think they were expecting 30,000 people. And so a lot of vendors kind of split their staffs. How did you feel about all that, Scott?
It was a sucky position for them to be put in because, I mean, obviously you want to take part in this new convention that came along. Unfortunately, it was exactly on the same weekend as BGGCon. So glad I'm not a vendor. I mean, and also sucked for us. Board Game Geek did not get to participate in PAX Unplugged, right? Like we want to go to conventions and we go to a lot of conventions, and then basically we were taken out of the equation too, but whatever, that's their deal. They say they're going to move it in the future, move the date. So
that's a good perspective. I never really thought about that too, from how you felt about it.
Yeah. But whatever. They do what they do. They're really in a different world than us, right? They come from the video game convention world. And
hello.
Yes. Hello. Oh, okay. It's a robocall. Hold on, I'm gonna turn this off.
Yes. Yes, Mr. President. Yes, Mr.
I can't reach my phone.
It'll be
huge.
It's
gonna be huge. I'll call you later.
I got this idea to have a really big convention. It'll be huge. Trust me, Scott. It'll be huge.
It's good. Yeah. Table topper gamer thingy.
Oh, it'll be the most luxurious thing that you've ever
game toppers done. For everyone. Game toppers for everyone.
Yeah, every game game topper.
And we'll make Scott pay for it.
Yeah.
So, but one thing I'll just say between the two conventions, we're completely different. Like PAX Unplugged is a convention in a convention center, right?
Yeah.
It closes at a certain time. You have arc lights. You don't have carpet. I'm sure it was finally to play games in, but I prefer, me personally, BGGCon is the one I want to go to because it's in a hotel. You can just go back to your room when you're done. You don't have to walk outside, brave the elements, whatever. You're just kind of in this, enclosed environment. And that's what led me to make the convention, was because I went to a convention in a hotel like BGGCon on a smaller scale with only 300 people. Mm-hmm. But I wanted that feeling of the 300 small convention feel in Board Game Geek world, right? Like run by Board Game Geek. So they're completely different. Like you will get 100% different experiences going to either one of these.
Now, in the future, you're actually going to be going to a larger venue. Is that right?
We're going to a larger hotel, which can handle a few more people. It's not going to go crazy. It's not going to be like 10,000 people. It'll be maybe another 1,000.
Okay.
Depends. We're not. BGGCon was not made to be as big as possible. We don't want it to be as big as possible. If we did, we wouldn't be in a hotel. We would be in a convention center, right?
Sure.
So,
sure.
We will like the hotel. I'm I'm making what I want to go to, right? The convention I want to go to. I love Origins and Gen Con. But they're completely different beasts.
Yeah, I felt a little bit sad, just that some of my friends that normally would go to BGG Con that always look forward to it didn't go, because they were torn likewise. You know, Marty and Tony from Rolling Dice, and you know, Chaz, and you know, the Dice Tower crew. They were up there as well, and all that kind of stuff. And
yeah,
so
definitely
that felt a little different.
Yeah, it felt a little sting by having those guys not show up. I mean, you know, that happens. We built up our friendships over these past 10 years. So
yeah, it's like summer camp, and we can't go anymore.
Yeah.
No, you know. So
anyway, here's the deal. We still had fun.
Yeah, we did,
and I'm sure they had fun too. So everybody had fun. It's all good.
Yeah. No, I think that's the point. It was a really great convention, and I really enjoyed it. I was so tired after I got home, though. I had 2 days to drive home with a trailer, and the last day was 40-mile-an-hour winds.
Wow, goodness.
That was I was so shot right before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Oh boy, it was.
Well, yeah, you did a Herculean task of getting those toppers to us for sure. Game toppers.
It was exciting. I'm so grateful to be a part of it. Yeah, speaking of game toppers, we're going to move into our next segment, but we have a couple sponsors of the show, and of course, I love to shill for game toppers, and I'm not going to apologize because I love these things. I designed them. I believe in them.
And you've made a jingle about them.
Yes, I did.
Where is it? You haven't given it to me.
Are good. No. Okay. That's going to reduce sales, Barry, but you could write me a jingle.
Oh, in between doing all the music for Seventh Continent and Batman and all that other stuff. Oh, you're a nightmare.
Okay. Have you heard about this, Scott? All of the soundtracks that Barry does. He's for Seventh Continent.
Yeah. Seventh Continent. Yeah, I didn't know he was doing Batman. That's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Well, possibly doing Batman.
Possibly. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, basically, all I wanted to say about Game Toppers, we're just so grateful for all the people who backed. I was so encouraged to see so many people at BGG Con just loving the Game Toppers, people who wanted to actually touch them and see how they work, because you can see the pictures, but you know, it's like, are they really that good? And then they played on them, and then they were like, this is awesome. These are way better than I thought. And then I got to meet with several people that I have been corresponding with during the Kickstarter. Thanks so much for everyone that did that. And right during BGG Con, I did something that I will never do again.
Strip?
No, I've done that, and we'll do that anytime.
These Game Toppers are so good, I would take off all my clothes and dance on one, and it won't break.
I'm like Mike Croft. No. Anyway, with
really, what we launch for you? No. It will be that. Go on. Sorry.
We launched our pledge manager software, and we went with BackerKit, and I was so thrilled with the interactions with BackerKit. Our campaign was a little bit complex because we had so many different things to offer, a lot of different variety of game mats, dice towers, player shields, storage bags, rail bundles to make your big topper into a mini topper, just some fantastic things. People really were excited about that in our campaign, and was, you know, felt it was very successful. But I launched that survey kit right during BGG Con. I was helping Arcane Wonders, our other sponsor of the Berkey and Badger show, doing Spoils of War as dressed up as the Viking chieftain. Well, I would do that in the morning, and then I would go into Game Topper mode, and then I'd be one conversation to a next, you know, working with customers, hanging out around the hot games room, all that kind of stuff. And then in the evening, answering a lot of questions regarding survey. And so I'll never do that again. However, that add-on software was incredibly successful. A lot of people who missed the campaign were able to get in on all these great Kickstarter values that we have. We have the Scotland Yard package that includes a topper, storage bags, 3 premium game mats, dice towers, player shields, the whole kit and caboodle, and discounted shipping of $99. And that software is still open. If you go to Game Toppers on Kickstarter, Game Toppers LLC, or to our website, www.gametoppersllc.com. You can still get in on all these great prices for Game Toppers. So with that, and that's going to be open through the end of the year, with that, we're going to go on to our next segment. Are you ready, Barry? Things that make you go,
Things that make us go, Board game news. Berkey and Badger reflect on the current events that are happening in the board game industry. Some may be good, some may be bad, but there are all things that make us go,
Wait, there we go.
Nice.
It's great.
So what's been making you go, Barry?
Okay, the release of the Star Wars app has now dropped, and I've downloaded it, and you've downloaded it as well, haven't you, Berkey?
My son has downloaded, and that counts.
Okay, that counts, yeah. And yes, I am very excited. It actually is, I don't know, it's a very slight improvement to their other apps, like for Descent and Mansions of Madness. It seems to flow a bit more. Let me just talk about it a bit. Basically, the app is a companion for the base game of Star Wars Imperial Assault, where normally you would play against a human player who'd be controlling all the Imperial forces, and you play the Rebel heroes. But the app takes over that responsibility and has these missions already pre-planned, and the missions will be different each time you do a different campaign, when you start a new campaign, and the map gets drawn out, and so you don't know what's coming up, and you don't know what monsters are going to come out, and the app takes care of everything, and you just play against this app. And it's a slight improvement on, as I said, the other apps that they've done, and that made me go, yes, well done, Fantasy Flight. It's the tutorial was wonderful. It helped me remember the rules, so I didn't need to read the rule book beforehand. It taught me all the things that I needed to know. It taught me the things that had changed, which are different from the base rules. And it walked me through all the commands, which, you know, you would have to move the stormtroopers around at its command, and it worked really well. I was very impressed.
Huh.
That's cool. So I definitely want to give that a try.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I played that game. Yeah.
It's been a while since I played
it. My son has actually painted all of his miniatures for that, and he just had the other app, so I'll have to talk to him about that. But I just saw somebody, it was Jimmy Hudson from the Board Game Closet. He had a game topper, and he took the double component tray, and he had a full monitor, a regular TV set, like a 27-inch TV sitting on it. And he was saying the same thing, that the app is so much better now. And then they had this big TV on the end of their topper.
Oh, right. I thought that was your house. Ah, sorry.
Oh, so that's why you thought I had downloaded the app.
Yeah. I thought
So does the app, it just completely replaces the Game Master role?
Yes, it does.
Oh, that's so awesome. Yeah, I definitely got to get that going.
Yeah. So, yeah, and it works really well. Even if you can't remember the rules, you can just flick through it pretty quickly and catch up very quickly as well and start playing. And that's the great thing about it, especially if you play on your own, because nobody else reads English in your country. So,
yeah, I think that's cool that games are doing that, and especially if they do it well and it helps you actually, play the game and learn the game quicker and all of those things.
Exactly. So what's been making you go,
Well, I've been a little bit media deaf lately because I've been working pretty hard on the fulfillment side of Game Toppers, so I just haven't had a ton of time. But one thing that popped up again, and I saw this in the board game group, and it's had like 800 comments on it, so it was kind of a thing. But a while back, Tom Vassell of the Dice Tower put out a video, and he was talking about local game stores. And the main premise of his discussion on that particular episode of Board Game Breakfast was about how game stores that aren't good, bad game stores, they don't deserve your attention. That was basically what he was saying. But he also clarified quite a bit that, hey, good game stores, support them. But then he also talked about, online stores being a positive thing. but the majority of his conversation had a real negative tone towards the local game store. So then what happened, obviously, a lot of the local game stores were very upset about the tone of that. And it went so far as Gama actually set a whole letter, the trade association that governs the manufacturing basically of board games, the Gama Trade Association. And so they put out this thing. Well, Tom then came back and really, in my opinion, made a real genuine attempt to say, hey, listen, I didn't do that well. I still hold to my conviction, but I feel this is this and this is this. And he went on 2 different episodes really trying to promote the local stores and why we should support good ones, blah, blah, blah. I kind of thought maybe the controversy would just kind of die down. But here all of a sudden this big thread comes digging in and everybody is just hot about it. And somebody just put a meme up there that I don't like Tom Vasel review. And then people are piling on. And I don't know, the whole thing just made me go,
Yeah, it's the nasty side of any kind of thing that people like. It's, yeah, he was complaining that he didn't like Tom Vasel's reviews. Well, you know, I commented on there and said, well, there's Broken Meeple, there's Rolling Dice Taking Names, there's blah, 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 there's Board Game Geek, there's hundreds of other reviewers out there and hundreds of other video makers which show you how games work and how they play and if they're good or not.
Exactly.
There's no point in picking on one person. There's no point. It's stupid.
Well, have you followed that a little bit, Aldi, when the whole Gama thing came up?
I have followed it. Yeah, it's a situation I think just kind of snowballed out of control. Like I don't think Tom really expected the blowback that he got, but yeah, I mean, I don't understand it, honestly. Like it's a little overdone, I think.
Yeah, it's kind of the way I felt about it as well,
especially after the real big apology.
Yeah, I think
pretty heartfelt.
I thought it was heartfelt. I thought he was. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it was like maybe people didn't see that part, but they saw the first part. That's the only thing I can think of. But
well, I just saw an article from another gentleman that is actually he admitted that he was on some type of advisory committee with the Gama Trade Association. And he wrote this blog, but then it was published by ICV2 as well. And it was talking about journalism and the accountability of journalists and trying to relate an individual board game reviewer to that same level of accountability to a journalistic type of thing. And I had a hard time with that article personally. I just thought, gosh, that's just going too far to equate someone giving his opinion on whether you should support something or not. You know, it's subjective to a degree, but you know, I really believe in the local game store, so I do feel that Tom needed to make that apology and attempt to make it right, because I did think he went too far on that. However, like you say, I think it just blew up.
Boom. I've had an explosion. Boom.
Well, that's what's been making me go, Scott, is there anything interesting to you in the news that's made you go,
Yes, I was reading about this like 2 days ago. I think it came out the news. Yeah, Sunday it came out. A new Uwe Rosenberg game called Reykholt, which is published. It's going to be published by Frosted Games. Now you'll notice that it's a different publisher than
Lookout.
Yeah, and Frosted Games are the people that make the advent calendars and the Spiel goodie boxes and all those things. So
okay,
yeah, wow. You know those guys, right? Or that guy, I should say, single person. And here's the thing that makes me go Here's the description of the game. You ready? Yeah, you're ready. Okay. In Reykholt, players run vegetable farmhouses on an island while trying to attract the most tourists. Done.
Come and look at my carrots.
Exactly. I'm like, oh, okay. It's interesting.
We have the best tomatoes in all of the land.
I'm sure it's going to be fabulous. I love Uwe Rosenberg's game, so I'm looking forward to it. It makes me go, that there's not more information about it. But of course, this is a Spiel 2018 release, so there's a bit of time to get that out more fleshed out. But I always wonder when you do a press release as a game company, why do you not just give as much information as you can and like why hold back, right? Yeah. You only have one or two opportunities to sell that game. Like honestly, like we're kind of in this weird world of like so many releases. You really got to get your act. I don't want to say get your act together, but basically you want all your ducks in a row, right? Before you put it out there. Yeah. So, but we have one sentence and a picture. It's a pretty picture. Anyway, I'm probably tearing it up a little bit more than it needs to be, but I'm excited to see it.
Uwe's designs are some of my favorites too. I love Caverna and love Le Havre and all those games. So yeah, that'll be awesome.
Feast for Odin.
Feast for Odin's one of my favorite games. I love that. I know some people didn't care for the Tetrisy side of it, but I just find it fascinating.
I love that.
I love it too. Yep. And how many decisions are there on the worker placement area? Is it 83?
It's a lot.
Or 63? But it never really feels that overwhelming to me, and I can teach it pretty quick.
Yeah. There's a bit of a learning curve there, but it's a game made to be played more than one time.
Okay. Yeah. So there's like a space for like picking up one lemon, and there's a space for picking up two lemons. There's a space for picking up three lemons.
You joke about that, but that's probably
no. I haven't played it. I haven't seen it, and I'm curious.
That's awesome.
And this space is 84 lemons.
Would you like to move on to our next segment there, Barry? Or you got something else, Scott?
I'm good to go.
Okay.
All right, we're going to go into our good, the not so bad, and the ugly.
Are we? Okay. I forgot what game I was going to do.
Perhaps.
Okay. Music. Where's the music? Oh, I've turned the sound down, idiot. That's not the one. That's the one.
Good. Not so bad. Wait for it. And the
ugly. That's pretty awesome.
So, do you want to go through our first impression description, Barry?
Okay, yeah. The good, the bad, and the ugly is just our first impressions of a brand new game that we've played for the first time. Maybe we play it twice in a row, and we do this in kind of like a game showy style. What we do is we describe the game without giving the title, and then the others have to guess what that game is, and then they have to guess whether we think the game is good, which means that we would play it again. If it was not so bad, it'd be something that we possibly would play again if in the right circumstances, or if it was goddamn ugly.
Ugly.
And that would be a game that we would avoid, and we would advise Scott not to put on his hot room list on a game topper.
Would not be in the Glasscock.
It won't be in the Glasscock. Because it would suck. It's a game that sucks. And it wouldn't go in the Glasscock.
It's ugly.
Anyway. Do you want to start? Because I forgot what game I was going to do.
Yeah, I can start. All right. I played a game. And this has a lot to do with cows.
I love that.
Moo. I say moo. So there's lots of cows.
Okay.
It has dice, lots of dice.
Yep.
It has a Brazilian flair to it. And I'm not talking about Fogo de Cow.
That's what I was wondering. If it was churrascaria or whatever.
Yeah, we love the meat sweats, but it's not that.
Ooh.
It has a unique ascending or descending game mechanism on how you collect your different races of cows.
Okay.
Oh, I got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
Barry, you got it?
Yep.
I think I do. I think I got it. Keep going.
All right. Well, there's you start off with a starting cow tile, and then this game is also worker placement. So you can go and you can allocate your dice to
Oh,
like,
I don't got it.
You don't have it?
I forgot you had dice. That's fine.
Yeah, it has.
I was
dice.
thinking a Great Western Trail, but that's not it.
I was thinking that as well.
It's not Great Western Trail, which we may be playing tonight.
Nice. So we played it. That's awesome.
Yeah, I played a demo last year at BGG Con and finally got it. But okay, so
we have dice. We have cows.
You allocate these dice to the worker placement spots based on the number.
Placement. Oh, okay.
You can have your Brazilian ranchers, which I won't say what their name is. They could be acquiring cattle, or they could just be holding cattle down by kind of sleeping on the pampas.
Is it Nacho Libre?
Is this a new game? Did it just come out?
No, it's not. It's not new, but it's within the last 2 years.
Okay.
And the worker placement spots are really fun. Let me say it. I mean, the artwork is kind of fun with the word. You've got one that could be a cattle rustler. So there's a slight amount of take that in the game, not a lot. But you can get a wild die if you allocate a die. You can search through the steppe, which is a group of cattle. So,
man, I'm stumped.
Any guesses?
No.
I've been
tell us the designer?
Yeah, I can tell you the designer.
Is it Montana? Ben Stiller?
No.
It says Montana. No.
I thought it was Montana because that's a new game though.
That's brand new. This is by Argentum Verlag.
Yeah.
Argentum Verlag.
Unexploded cows, said Ben.
But who's the designer?
It's Arv Fuller.
Okay, that didn't help me.
Pinky Tickle Unicorn Madness. Paul, what the hell is that?
It's El Gaucho.
Oh, El Gaucho.
Yes.
I did not get a chance to play this one. This was like 2 years ago, right? Or 1 year ago.
Yeah, I think it was
last year?
Year and a half or 2 years, yeah.
Cool. 2014, actually.
2014, because you pulled it up on Board Game Geek.
I did.
Yeah. So, what do you think I think about it?
Well, I think you liked it. I think it was good.
Good. Okay. What do you think, Barry?
It's in your hand, so I think he went out and bought it. So good.
He could have borrowed it.
He could have borrowed it, but he's not the borrowing type, Berkey. It is good.
Oh, and what are they saying there?
Oh, Cachato? It's not Cachato. You've removed the picture.
What is his name? Geppetto. Geppetto.
I can't wait to teach you Catan.
Geppetto says, I can't wait to teach you Catan. And all Pinocchio says, he never thinks I can play a heavy euro.
Yeah. He underestimates Pinocchio. Is that what it is?
Yeah. That's probably what it is, because he's always trading for wood.
Okay.
So you're exactly right. It's good.
Yay!
Okay. I'll tell you why I think it's good. The worker placement is one of my favorite mechanisms in games. But I've played this with several times, actually, and play it with family. And it's so accessible. You can bring it to the table. You can teach this thing in 10 minutes, and then you can play it in an hour. So it's got
I didn't realize it was that family level. Yeah.
Yeah. It's family level at that point, but then the choices become really kind of intense. I mean, you have to, if you have a 1 cow and you place it to your left, you always have to add to the right. So then you can have a 2 or a 3 or a 4. You can go ascending, but you are trying to acquire the cows that are up in the pasture, the pampas. And they're going to move as people acquire those. And so you might not be able to get the one that you want that's ascending, but there's a worker placement slot that allows you to take one of your cows that you acquire at the end of the turn and be able to slip it in between. But then you have to allocate one of your actions, to do that. And it always has to be done in a subsequent turn. So analyzing all of that, it becomes really kind of tricky. So I don't consider it lightweight by its gameplay, but it's lightweight because it looks kind of comical. It's got that family-friendly art style. They've got this really cool little corral that you roll all the dice in, little cardboard corral, and it keeps them all in there. And when you roll the dice, you roll this whole handful of dice, and then the player gets to take the first 2 dice, and then subsequently. So player order really makes it. Okay. Yeah, exactly. So you've got that drafting side of it. The take that is not, overwhelming, but you have to be aware if someone's put on the rustler and they're going for the same race of cows that you've got. If I've got Black Angus and they've got to run a Black Angus and all of a sudden they put their robber over there, I better do something to mitigate it, or more than likely I'm going to lose one of my cows. and one of the things that I haven't mentioned about the whole game is that it's the set collection that you get. You eventually need to sell your herd. Okay, so if I have 5 cows and the highest level cow is, say, a 10, that's worth 50 points. Ooh. So if I get 6, then it's going to be 6 times 10, 60 points. So all of a sudden the multiplier starts to come in. So do I manage several herds, multiply smaller amounts, or do I go for one big long herd and hope somebody doesn't rustle it? There's a lot of stuff going on. I really like it.
Yeah, it's one that went under my radar that year for sure. I need to maybe go back and it's a good and bad thing about the industry, right? There's so many good games out there that it's impossible to play them all.
Yeah. If all the board game designers died tomorrow, heaven forbid, we would still be happy, wouldn't we? There's still too many games to play.
Sadly, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, we have so many games to play. You can't even get to the ones you want to anymore. All right. So, Barry, do you have a game that...
Okay. Yep. In this game, you are trying to survive. It's the end of the world as you know it. And sometimes you're going to be on your own, and sometimes you're going to be with some other survivors. And you're going to be trading supplies to get things that you need. You're going to be building shelters and warehouses and other churches. You're going to build a church. That's a nice thing to build. And every building that you build will let you have another card in your hand. I say card, it's a deck building game.
I think I know this, but I can't think of the name. Is Elad Goldstein the designer?
Yes, he is.
All right. Then I know it, but I can't remember the name.
Okay, I will tell you. It's Edge of Humanity.
Edge of Humanity. I've heard a lot of good things about this, so...
Okay.
Well, are we getting ahead of it? We're getting ahead of ourselves. Oh, you have to describe more of the game, right?
I can describe a bit more of the game. It's a deck builder where you'll start with X amount of cards, you draw some, and the game is broken down in phases. So there'll be an event that'll happen. So there's another deck of cards, you flip it over, and it'll tell you a bit of, story about why the world has ended. And it would tell you to either, lose some life points or discard a card, or do something else, and you have to choose one of these actions, and every player will choose an action different. And then you'll go into another phase where you will bid for supplies in the middle of the table, and you'll be using the cards that you have in your hands to bid, and each of them has a value, and other players will bid against you, and so obviously the highest bid will take those supplies, all those ideas and things. But the thing is, the things that you bid for the things that you bid with, you'll have to throw away. So you're going to be throwing away a lot of cards in this game. And you're going to be building stuff. Again, you're going to have to throw cards away to build this stuff because it all requires supplies. And eventually the game will end either by someone reaching the score level, or it'll end by the scenario finishing.
Wow. Is there like a threat in the game? Like, are you fighting against some kind of a thing? Like, since it's post-apocalyptic, right?
It's post-apocalyptic. yes, there will be.
That's just the setting. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't played the fighting thing yet, so.
Okay. I'm gonna say good.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes deck builders seem to bug you, so I'm gonna say not so bad.
You know me too well.
Not so bad. All right.
Okay, I have played this twice. Now, if I'd done this after the first play, it would be a bad, because the game is just so different. When we first played, it was like, my God, what's going on? None of us knew what we were going to do. There's this track in the middle, not track, but there's a pool in the middle of survivors. And so we're playing the first scenario, which is an epidemic, which has wiped out everybody. And we're going through the actions and we're going through the phases, and we're trying to get these survivors into our hands so we can recruit them because they give us points. And it's like, it's not happening. We're like, why can't we recruit them? And the game ended after 10 rounds, and we were like totally bedazzled. What's going on here? So we played again, and knowing what we knew, we couldn't get any survivors. We just concentrated on building and collecting shelter and collecting supplies and doing things like that. And the game seemed to flow better and seemed to, make kind of sense. You are on your own in this venture, and you got to try and survive and try and get as many points as possible by building stuff. And it worked. It was very intriguing. I'm not overly in love with it at the moment. I need to play the other two scenarios which came in the base game, because there's one which involves zombies and there's another one which involves something else. And as you said, there's bullet tokens, so you're going to be shooting at stuff. How long
did it take to play a game? Since it's scenario based, right? So you got to play it like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, it's scenario based. It can take just about an hour, or maybe under. It's a bit hard for me to give a time, because I have to translate it into French and explain it in French, so it takes me longer to do the explanation of how the game works. So yeah, it's relatively quick. The 10 rounds go past really quickly. It's like, oh my God, it's the end, and I'm nowhere near the final score, and it's like, I want to do this on my next turn. So there's this draw to play it again, because you didn't do the things that you wanted to do. Unlike in a normal deck builder, you just keep building up your deck, and I've got everything that I wanted, and this engine's working well. In this, your engine won't work well. It'll kind of work well, but then you'll have to throw stuff away, and you'll have to sacrifice stuff just to get more stuff. And it's just the idea of the totally new in a deck builder that has thrown me a bit, and I haven't got used to it. So as I said, I need to play it some more, and maybe it'll go up from the not so bad to the good rating. I'm hoping it does, because it's a very interesting idea. It's got some nice little mechanics and bits and bobs. So yeah,
I heard some good things about it at Gen Con, and then BGG Con people were playing it too. So I've heard some good buzz.
Yeah. Again, my experience with the game started really badly.
I wonder if the language thing is.
Yeah, I'm getting all the decks of cards out. I'm getting all the decks of cards out, and I'm explaining the game, and I'm reading through the rules just to check, make sure that I've done it right. And I'm getting the decks of cards out, and I'm shuffling, and I accidentally pick up another deck of cards and shuffle it with this other deck of cards, and I'm like, oh crap, this is the scenario deck, and I just picked up all the scenario, and I was like, oh.
I hate that. Then you spend 20 minutes sorting it out.
I started to sort it out, and I couldn't make out what was supposed to be in the scenario deck and what was not supposed to be in the scenario deck, because they give you a sheet, but it only explains what's in the base deck.
Yeah, so you have to deduce what's not there. Yeah, that's not good.
No, so I had to look on Board Game Geek and then find the list of the cards.
Thank God for that website.
Yeah, thank God for that.
Actually, thank God for the users that put in the. Thank God for the users that put in the data that could help you undo what you did.
Yeah, so
I feel your pain. I've been there. I have.
Yeah. What game was it?
Oh gosh, what was it? It's just one of those games where you have you're supposed to have 5 decks, and you just shuffle them all together by accident. You're like, oh, this all goes together. And the guy goes, yeah. Oh, wait, no. And then you're like, but I already shuffled these 50 types of I don't remember specifically. It's just happened, right? Like it happens in all kinds of different situations. You're like, oh, I wasn't supposed to shuffle those? Okay. But luckily, usually they'll have like different symbols or different things to sort of back out again. So
yeah, but all the backs of these cards are exactly the
same.
same.
Oh my gosh, we did this with Arkham Horror. Horror card game. Like you know, you're supposed to pull out this. I don't know if you played it, but you're supposed to pull out specific types of monster encounters. Like they have a symbol, and then I think I just shuffle them all together, and I'm like, oh no, because it tells you like the first game you play, you put this. I mean, literally, the text on the cards is probably like 3-point font to tell you what card type it is. It's like microscopic.
Christ. Yeah. It was the same with the scenario deck. It starts with A1, and then the second card's A2, and then the third card is B1, and then it's like, because you can make your own scenarios. There's an extra set of scenario cards. You can build
scenarios. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, so I mixed all these scenario cards up, and I was like, "Oh god!"
Oh yeah.
Game over. Oh. Let's play something else. Let's play Carcassonne. It's easy.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to go back to those games so you just know the rules already.
Yeah.
You just play, right? You can just play. I mean, I like learning new games. I like learning rules. Big part of the board gaming hobby to me is like learning new systems.
Yeah.
But like, it's also fun to go back and just like, oh yeah, we all know the rules. Let's play it. Let's just play it.
Yeah, it's like a couple of weeks ago, I played Catan twice, and it's like, oh, I love this game. Love it.
Yeah, me too. My number 2.
Yeah.
All right. You guys ready for my game?
Yeah.
Go on then.
All right.
Have at it.
I want to try to get you so you don't guess it right away. The first thing you notice about this game is the beauty of it. It's a beautiful game. It's very colorful. It's very tactile. Like the pieces feel good. They have a good tactile, right?
They feel good.
And you are
like, are they fuzzy?
No, they are hard.
Okay. I'm gonna say Azul.
Firm.
Straight off the bat.
Okay, well, should I keep going or do you want me to keep you might be right. You might be right. You guys got it too quickly. So it's Azul. Yeah, you're too fast.
Is. Okay.
I can't. How could you describe that game without giving it away? I mean, like I could just say, oh yeah, colorful pieces. You're taking them out of a bag, you're drawing tiles out of a bag, and you're putting them in this pool of tiles to choose from. And they're in groups of 4. And the coolest rule in the game is when you take a tile you're basically building a wall, like a mosaic wall with all these awesome tiles. When you take a tile, you're taking all of that type of tile from the group. So if there's 3 red and 1 yellow and you take the red, you have to take all 3 red. Right?
Oh.
What you don't take goes into the middle of this. So there's I think it's like 8 or 10 pieces, groups of 4, and they're on these discs. Okay. And when you take 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever, the others go into the middle, which create its own group to take from. Okay. So let's say I took that yellow and it would move the red ones into the middle. Right. And then Barry took something and it put more red into the middle. Well, Berkey, you could come in and take the red out of the middle and you would get all of them. Right. Like, so you're trying to tactically build a wall by collecting sets of those tiles. 5 of a kind, 4 of a kind, 3 of a kind, 2 of a kind, and 1 of a kind. If you've seen the little picture of it, you would see the little triangle.
Yeah.
And once you fill a row,
like dominoes or something too.
They're like half dominoes almost. Yeah, they're like very like hard plastic, almost like Bakelite.
Yeah.
Feel. And they're super nice. They have like texture printed or pattern printed on them.
Bakelite repair. No, not that one.
Bakelite. So you're collecting these tiles, building the wall. There's a very mean streak in this game, however. You can basically, there's rules of where you can put your tiles, and you can kind of sometimes manipulate the tiles such that someone will have to take tiles that they can't put into their wall. Okay? And when they do that, you start taking negative points. Basically, you've dropped, in the theme of the game, you've dropped it on the floor or something like they say. And you build these negative points, and you can score up to negative 14 points in a turn, in a round. Play a bunch of rounds in the game, but during one of the rounds, and I've seen it happen, and it's happened to me, you can lose 14 points. So it's got a little bit of and that's a lot of points actually for the game, because maybe a winning score is probably 50 or 60 points, depending on how you.
Oh, wow.
And it's got a very neat, like, way to score is when you put the tile down, when it moves over into your grid, if it touches other tiles, it scores points. And if you get vertical lines, it scores points. And if you get horizontal lines, it scores points. If you get all of a color, you get bonus points. So
how long does it take to play?
Abstract. Half an hour, maybe. Like if you're quick at it, you could probably rip it out in half an hour.
Wow.
And the pieces are awesome.
I saw it the other day. It looks nice.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, I'm going to say that you think it's good.
Yeah, I held my enthusiasm a little. I didn't hold it back. Yeah, I do. It's good. Well, I guess, Barry, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to say you think it's good as well.
Good. Yeah. Give me the Pinocchio.
It's good.
You want some Pinocchio.
Where is that Pinocchio?
I don't know. I've got the next graphic loaded.
Okay, whatever. It's good. Give it a try. I'm surprised I like it because I don't love. I mean, I like abstract strategy kind of games, and this is not really an abstract strategy. It's kind of a Euro. It's like a set collection game, really, and a tile placement game. It's not very. It's an abstract theme, right? You're like building a tile thing of grids, but the gameplay in it is quite nice, and the choices are a little hard. Or like, should you try to like set somebody up or just go for what you need? Like it's got some cool choices in there.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
Well, I think we should move on. I noticed that we just got it. I just got my chat up. Sorry, guys, that we haven't connected with everyone, but we have a lively chat going on here with Kabuki Kids in the house. Our good friend Philip Millman and Ben is in the house, and Paul Grogan. Scott Alden's in there. Well, he was in there. Yeah, he says enough of this nonsense. I'm out. And so a lot going on there, but we're just going to get ready to go into our game show with our special guest, Aldi. What game is behind the door?
Welcome, everybody, to What Game is Behind the Door. In this segment, we'll be putting our special guest to the test by asking them 3 questions. Questions like, what was the last game that they purchased? What is the game they're most excited about getting? And what is their favorite game right now? Berkey and Badger will have to figure out what these answers are by asking questions in particular styles. Let's find out if Berkey and Badger can get 3 out of 3 or fall flat on the floor like a floundering pig.
Awesome. Love the production
Barry. Here. All right, Barry, give us a rundown of our 3 questions.
Okay, we'll start with the first question. We're going to ask Scott, what is the latest game that he has purchased? And we're going to do this in like a 20 questions kind of style, where we will ask him only 5 questions each. And Scott will have to say either yes or no in response. And there may be that occasion where it's like in the middle, so he can say in the middle. So we've got to try and guess what the game that he's purchased recently. And after every question, after we've both asked Scott a question, he is going to show us one component from the game to give us a bit of a help. So I am totally unprepared. Okay. Okay, I'll start then. I'm going to ask Scott if, and no looking at the chat, Berkey. I know what you're like.
Okay, I'm going to turn the chat off, all you chattios there.
Yeah. And Scott can tell us if someone's already guessed the game already before us and make us look stupid. I know Philip or Kabuki will get it right.
Yeah, Kabuki, she gets it all right. She loves this game show, and she always gets everything right.
Okay.
She's pretty smart.
She's awesome.
Very smart.
She's very smart. She refuses to come on our show, so she is very smart.
That's very smart. Very wise.
That's good.
All right.
Okay, first question. Right. Is this game an abstract game?
No.
Okay.
Did you just pick up this game at Essen?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
That narrows it down to about 1,000 games.
Yeah.
800 and something. Yeah.
Okay.
That's crazy.
I'm not going to make any guesses.
So he's going to show us a component.
I got to show you a piece. Okay. Okay, this is the piece.
Here comes the white cube.
Okay, what is it?
See if I get it focused.
Okay, talk so it shows up on the screen.
So it's a disc that oh, do I need to describe it, or
if you want to give us more clues and so we can beat you, yes.
Oh, that's lovely.
Okay.
It's lovely. Nice. That's really cool.
It's like a Celtic shield in gold and blue, with a little gem in the middle.
A blue gem in the middle, like a sapphire.
Yeah, and it's a round token.
It's a round token, cardboard token. Okay, number 2 question. Do you have a guess, Barry?
No, I haven't got a clue. I haven't seen that before, so I'm going to go with next question. Is this a Uwe Rosenberg game?
No.
Okay.
Not an Uwe. Not an Uwe.
Did he have any releases at Essen this year? He had one, I think, right?
He had one, yeah.
Yeah. The sequel to Cottage Garden,
which was the sequel to
Indian Summer.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was Cottage Cheese. Cottage Garden.
No, that's the sequel to Die Hard 3.
Okay.
Oh no, he had Newsford as well. Newsford. It's not Newsford.
Okay.
He had 2 games.
Oh, he gave us a clue, not Nurse.
Well, it's not Uwe Rosenberg, right? So
okay. Okay. Is it in a Ticket to Ride size box?
You love that question. Oh, right.
You are correct.
Yeah. 12 by 12.
Yeah, it's 12 by 12.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, so another component.
Oh, yeah. Okay. This one, I think I'm going to give you this one. Okay. Can you see that?
Yep, it's another disc token, and it's green, and it looks like it's got a tree in the middle.
Yeah,
or like on the back corn.
It's like a little tree.
Yeah,
and then on the back side, you have a number.
$5.
Yeah,
or points.
Again, the tree looks very, very Celtic, kind of curly and enigmatic.
Does look Celtic.
Okay.
Okay, let's see if the chat gets it on that one.
Okay.
That's a pretty iconic picture there. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I don't really know. Maybe.
No, I haven't got a clue.
How many pieces do I show you? 5 pieces?
Yes, 5 pieces.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I don't have a guess on that one. Well, hold on. I'm going to make a guess. I am going to make a guess.
Okay.
I'm going to say Agra.
No. Incorrect.
I'm going to say Fields of Green. I know it's not, but
Fields of Green. No. No.
Okay. Question number 3.
You got a question?
Yes. Is this a resource gathering question? Oh my God.
Do you gather resources in this game?
I need beer.
You don't. Yeah.
Okay, so there's no resources to gather.
There's no resources. Well, no, it's not a resource gathering game as you would think.
Okay.
Not resources, huh? Is worker placement game mechanism?
No.
Not worker placement.
No.
Okay.
Component.
Okay. Another component.
Okay.
Number 3.
One. Okay, I'm gonna give you this one.
Okay.
A square. Number 2. Square, and then on the back, it's got like a
rune.
Kind of like a rune. It looks like a 5-star medal or something almost.
Okay. I cannot think. I'm gonna move on with the question because I can't think of anything. Okay.
Yeah, I can't either.
Are dwarfs involved in this game?
I think so. Maybe. I don't know, but there could be dwarves in this game.
There could be
dwarves. That's
I don't think there's dwarves in this. I don't think there's dwarves in this game, but there could be.
Oh wow!
It's not overly dwarvy.
Let's just say no. No, it's not overly dwarvy. But don't count dwarves out of it. They're tangentially.
So dwarvies could be in there, but not necessarily.
I think yes. I think there could be a dwarf in this game.
Did you mean that it's more elvish? Is that what you meant?
There could be elves in this game too.
See, I got an extra clue out of him.
I know. You did.
I see what I did. I tricked him. He never been on the show before. I got him. So it could be elves.
All right.
Okay.
Is that both questions, or you got another question?
No, we get it. Yeah, I get a question then.
Yeah.
Is this a deck builder?
No.
Oh, throw out that one. Okay, so we get another.
This is fun. All right.
Yeah, it is.
All right. We're on piece number 4, right?
Yeah.
Piece number 4. Yeah. Oh, he's got a little sword.
Wow.
Is that coming out? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So now that looks familiar. It's a nice little sword, kind of Excalibur-ish or possibly Templar-ish.
This was strange because it's a cardboard token. I'm going to go. I need to go into Board Game Geek because I can't think of the name.
Ooh.
Yes. Plug.
I've heard of that website.
Yeah.
Oh, I knew it. I think I know what it is.
Yeah.
Yep. I think I know. So before I'll do my question though.
Yeah.
But does Nikki work for the company that made this game?
Ah.
No.
Oh no! I thought I had it.
Okay.
No, I think
Nikki works for Queen Games, by the way.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Well.
But
but
I thought I had it.
She did used to work for Queen Games.
Okay, my question, my last question is:
Yep.
Is this a cooperative game?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go with Legends of Andor: The Last Hope.
No.
But
good. But that's a very good guess. That's a very good guess.
I'm thinking it's all cardboard tokens.
So when I may have misled you.
Oh,
it's
now
cooperative.
It comes out.
It's cooperative and semi-cooperative. Like I guess that's cooperative, right?
Okay. Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, that's cool.
So the last component, our last chance of redemption.
Okay, the last component.
Last component.
Give me 1 second. Okay. Let me see if anybody in the chat got it. No, not yet. Okay, here you go. Ready? Now this looks like one you've seen before.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what that is. That looks just like the thing from Kemet. That symbol from Kemet, and it has a ring.
Oh yes, you were playing this a while ago. Oh,
do you know what that is?
It's something to do with the Lord of the Rings.
Is that your question?
No, I'm going to need to cheat and go on Facebook now and look at your page because I know you posted a picture of it.
Oh yeah, I think I did post a picture of it.
Yes, I can't think what it's called though. Lord of the Rings, something or
other. War of the Rings.
Let me give you the piece that I
You're
close. You're close. I want to show you.
Ooh.
Pull it back a little.
Yeah, let me.
Okay. Oh, it's like a wizard. It's
a ring wraith.
It's the ring wraith.
It's a ring wraith,
and it's on a little stand.
And then one more piece. There you go. That should give you the game. You've already got it. I think you know it.
All
right. Well, all I can think of is War of the Ring, but that dice doesn't seem like
War of the Ring, but it's not.
Yeah,
it's a spiritual part of War of the Ring.
Hunt for the Ring.
Ah,
Wow.
Hunt for the Ring. This game is awesome.
Really?
And that's why you bought it.
It is really awesome. If you like cooperative, it's Ares Games is the publisher.
Oh.
And the designer is Marco Maggi, Gabriele Mari, and Francesco Nepetalo.
Okay.
And they are the designers of drawing a blank what the other games are.
Battle of Five Armies.
War of the Ring.
No.
War of the Ring.
One of them. And then Whitehall. The Letters of Whitechapel, Whitehall, and those games.
Okay.
It is a cooperative game in that which most of the players are trying to hunt Frodo. Frodo is trying to get the ring to Rivendell.
Oh.
In this game, they go to Rivendell, and it's a hidden movement game.
Mm-hmm.
So you have one person playing Frodo, and secretly writing down the moves right behind the screen.
Okay.
And the screen is awesome. Like this is the screen.
Oh wow!
That they see, right? And the art on this is just
it's fantastic.
Yeah, and so he has the map. Whoever's doing Frodo has the map inside of this, and it's there's two halves to the game. You play first. You're going from the Shire to Bree, and then you're going from Bree to Rivendell. And there's a couple different mechanisms and it's a double-sided board. So you go from one to the other, and then you flip it over.
Wow.
And then so one player is playing Frodo doing the secret movement, and the other players are playing the ring wraiths, trying to track down Frodo and catch him and corrupt him. And it is good. If you like hidden movement games, it's got a lot of like the hidden movement games I like have a lot of flavor, like Fury of Dracula. Like there's a lot of the source material in the game. And so there's cards in this game that are basically all evocative of Lord of the Rings. I mean, you've got all the characters. That's why I said there could be a dwarf, because there's a lot of cards here, and I don't know if I haven't seen a dwarf, but there could be a dwarf in there.
All right.
As an ally. Yeah. So you have like little allies that help you, block the ring wraiths movement and stuff. So
That sounds very familiar to a game that I've got. I've got a game called Fellowship of the Ring, which was from 1983. It's a two-player game, and you have dice as your characters. So you got Frodo, Sam, and then all the other heroes. And one of them has got the ring, and so you're playing like this hidden movement game across the board, trying to get the ring to Mordor.
Yeah.
It's,
if you like hidden movement, and if you played like Spectre Ops or Whitehall or Letters of Whitechapel or Garibaldi, it has a lot of powers. Like all the ring wraiths get spells too.
Yeah.
And so they can cast these nasty spells. And there's a night phase where they can hunt Frodo. Oh yeah, I remember that game, but I don't think I ever played it.
Yeah.
Ben said is Tom Bombadil in it.
Yeah, it does.
Tom Bombadil is in the game.
He is.
There's a Tom Bombadil.
So they didn't leave him out.
I believe Tom Bombadil. I think that was Tom Bombadil that screwed us over in the game we played the other day.
He was singing, was he?
Bill the Pony is in it.
Oh wow!
Oh, Bill the Pony. Cool. So it's very thematic. That's cool. Okay. Question part number 2.
Okay, which game is Scott most excited about getting? This may be a Kickstarter game, or it might be a game that he's heard of through his good friend Eric, who's been telling him about this wonderful game. We're going to do this question differently. Scott's going to draw us a picture of the game somehow, and we've got to guess what it is. Okay, and hopefully
I didn't realize I had to do that.
Hopefully it's not a Star Wars game, because
I think I can draw. Oh, I'm unprepared for drawing. Hold on, let me get a piece.
You're a good drawer. You're a good drawer. I know you are.
Yeah.
Can I draw on the screen?
Do
they have an app in this thing where you can draw?
No.
Oh, okay. No.
That'd be nice. You can just draw on your camera lens.
Yeah, like
dig up your telestrations or your Pictionary.
I need paper.
He's a good drawer, I can tell. And his mom said he was a good eater too. He's a good eater.
Oh my gosh, I can't find a single piece of paper on my desk. Wait.
You can draw on your arm.
I may have to use the back.
Do you remember that one time when I drew on my face?
Yes, remember when I was in my glory and they were calling out my name?
You guys are terrible. Okay, give me a second and let me see if I can pull this off.
Okay, we're breaking a song. We're breaking.
We don't want you to pull anything off. Just draw, okay?
Okay.
Ramses doesn't want me to go to the party.
You remember that time when I ripped my blouse?
Those potato chips are for the children. No.
Did you tell them that these are the Lord's chips?
This is a terrible drawing.
Don't you know I've had diarrhea since Easter's?
Oh, that's so fresh in my mind.
You're gonna think this is some other game, but it's probably
okay. So for those of you watching this live video, you're going to probably be bored and switching off and going and looking at the Grogan video.
No, we're providing color commentary.
Yes. Luckily for the podcast listeners, this will be all cut out and it'll be clean and crisp and it'll be like Scott had a pen in his hand magically ready to draw a picture.
I'm cracking myself up from this thing.
And it'll be on the Guild. Board Game Geek Guild 2248. You'll see all these artistic expression.
Yes. And if you want, write us a silly question. And if we get the answer right, Scott will send you his picture. Framed. In a tabletop.
A noted game artist. You know, like Morai.
Michael Mendez.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is terrible. And this is in the wrong color, too.
Oh
no.
Okay.
Perfectionist.
Oh,
no. Orange. I have an orange pen. Oh my gosh, I hope it shows up. Let me put it.
Is it not shaded properly? I want it shaded properly. And I want the light source from the right.
Can't have everything what you want. Oh goodness. All right.
Oh no.
All right, ready? Let me see if this works.
He's really scared here.
Oh god, it's not showing up at all.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
That looks like a nuclear explosion.
Just take your time.
There's a nuclear explosion behind some mountains. We've got a masked guy shooting at another guy who's running away.
Looks like the abominable snowman.
Okay.
Did you catch it? Let me. Did you see the background there? To check the background.
Yeah, we see
the mountains with a big. Is it a tree or is that an explosion?
That's an explosion. How can the tree be bigger than the mountains unless it's a fantasy Final Fantasy game?
I think he's excited about getting. Adrenaline expansion.
Ooh.
No, it's not that.
No.
It's Cry Havoc expansion.
No. Not an expansion.
That guy looked like a trog. He looked like a trog.
Okay, it's probably terraforming tree. No, it's not an expansion.
Okay, I remember seeing something that had this little mushroom cloud as a game piece, and I bet that's
Let me see if I can augment it.
Augment it, yeah. Do more drawings.
Augment it.
Color and shading.
Did anybody in the chat? It's someone in the chat got it. Ben,
all right, I'm not looking.
Ben Steeler of bagged lunches.
Okay.
All right, let me augment it but I don't know how to draw what I want. So let me see if I can.
Oh, and Kabuki Kid too. I think we know.
You know what?
And this, you're excited to get it because it hasn't come out yet. And I tried to get it for my son, found out it wasn't out yet either.
I think I know what it is. I think it's Fallout.
Okay. It's Fallout.
Did you say Fallout? Yeah, it's Fallout.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the hotness list on Board Game Geek. Plug.
Yeah.
Ching. It's third on the hotness list. And I should have figured out.
Cool. It's on the hot list. Fallout. What makes you so excited about Fallout? You play the game?
I've played Fallout. Yeah, I played Fallout a lot. I put some serious hours into Fallout 3. That's for sure.
Yeah, me too.
Fallout 4, not so much. I probably would like to go spend some time in there. But I honestly don't know a lot about Fallout. I've kind of been a little bit in a media blackout of it. But I know it's a adventure board game, 1 to 4 players in the post-apocalyptic Fallout world, which is kind of like a tongue-in-cheek version of it's a deadly world, but there's also like a bit of comedy, if you know Fallout.
Like the games, yeah.
So hopefully that comes through in the board game too. And I know they have that cool skill system with the word special, like so each letter of the word special stands for like one of your skills, like strength and perception and intelligence, agility, right?
Yeah, Man versus Meeple did a pretty good video which explained it.
Okay, well then I need to look at that. I need to look at that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. I'm excited now because I forgot about that game.
Okay.
All right, part number 3.
Okay, we're going to try and guess what Scott's current favorite game is. The one that he's dreaming about when he goes to bed, and the one that he's actually got in bed with him when he wakes up in the morning.
Okay.
Scott's going to give us 5 one-word clues with big pauses in between so we can try and guess what his current best game in the world, the game that he wants everyone to buy immediately right now, the one that he's going to put advertisement all over Board Game Geek page, apart from his sponsorship. Go and sponsor Board Game Geek. There's 20 days left.
Thank you very much. Okay. Let's see.
Word number 1.
You want these to be hard? Okay, so
start hard and get easy.
Okay, let's go Kingdom.
Kingdom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kingdom.
I'm gonna go gay and go King Domino. It's not your favorite game.
Nope.
It's not King Domino.
I'm gonna say Pillars of the Earth.
Nope.
Okay.
This is favorite game I'm playing right now, right? Not favorite game of all time.
The one you're most excited about now.
Yeah, this is the one I'm most excited about now. Okay.
Yeah.
Kingdom. Don't say builder, please.
The next word is
buildings. I was gonna say buildings, but that's buildings. Buildings.
I'm lucky you didn't say death. Death. One of this game is okay, buildings. It's Kingdom Builder.
That's what I was thinking, but he wouldn't say that that's his favorite, most excited, stupid game.
Builder. Right now, no, it's a new game. It's a new game.
I hate that game.
Kingdoms and Buildings.
I really don't like it.
You guys got any guesses?
Kingdom, Buildings.
Gloomhaven.
Nope, not Gloomhaven.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw out Bunny Kingdom.
No, I thought I can't use the word in the name, right?
No.
Yeah, you can't.
Take another guess. Take another guess because that's got the word in the name.
Yeah, that was a bad one. Bruges.
No. Okay.
That was a bad guess.
Workers. Building. Oh, what game's got building?
It's so evocative.
Workers, Kingdom.
No.
Buildings.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna say he's a big Uwe Rosenberg fan.
Is he?
I am.
So buildings.
It's not an Uwe Rosenberg game though.
Ooh.
I'll just give you that. Not Uwe Rosenberg.
You'll just give me that. Okay. Well, then I'm just gonna say I'll just say Orleans.
No.
Okay.
It's a new game.
You, Barry?
This is a new game.
I'm gonna go Majesty.
Good guess. Not correct, but good guess.
Okay.
You're gonna get it on this one.
Okay.
Legacy.
So I'll say Charterstone.
Charterstone.
Ah,
good. That is correct.
I haven't seen it or played it or anything, but so you have it?
I do. I got it in Essen. It's another one that they had English copies there. We bought a copy and I brought it home.
So what do you think?
It's very cool. We're in game 9 of 12.
Ooh.
And it's a set 12 games. I don't know what to tell you without spoiling anything. I'm not going to spoil anything, but it's a legacy game. But the cool thing about it that I like is your game is going to be different than mine. Like, you're going to take a different path of how you open stuff. The way the unlocking mechanism works in the game is you don't unlock everything always the same. Right? So when you're playing, you're going to unlock rule A, B, and C, and I might in that order, and I will in my game I unlocked B and C, and I may never even unlock A. Like, A may never come into the game, which is kind of cool, right? Like, there was a rule in the game that we just unlocked that had not been in there until game 8.
All right.
So it's kind of interesting that way. And we're playing 4-player, but even if you play 4-player, you can have an autonomous, they call it automa or whatever.
Yeah.
Automaton player take the other slots, but we're just playing by the basic rules where the 6 players just unlock things automatically. There's like a rule to unlock to speed the game, not speed the game along, but like keep the enough stuff put into the game to keep it like populated, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Those two because the way the Charterstone board is, it's got 6 areas for each player. Each player's got their own charter where they're putting in things that may or may not be buildings. And so it's a worker placement game.
Okay.
Does it have a similar, end game mechanism in each one of the scenarios, like Euphoria and Scythe, and where there's kind of a race there, viticulture?
It's not exactly like those.
Okay.
It's a more basic like VP system. Like, it's a pretty, I wouldn't say it's like innovative, but it's fun. You know what I mean? Like, there's lots of ways to score victory points, lots of different strategies, and there's things in the game that kind of give you more points if you follow a certain strategy. So those are kind of, those are fun to like explore.
So after you've played through all 12 scenarios, can the game be replayed at that point?
Yeah, you can replay the game using that board. You'll just play the game and just to score, right? Yeah. Like to straight up play. There's nothing more to open or unlock, I assume, at that point.
How long of a game is it? Say that again, Barry. I didn't catch you.
Isn't there a restart pack that you can buy for Charterstone, which lets you reset the game?
The board is double-sided.
Oh, yeah.
You can buy the recharge pack and play again if you want, using the second side of the board, and like all the pieces are still there. The pieces don't get used up in a legacy way, but the cards do. They're stickers. So you would just recharge the pack and play a different game. But all the cards would be the recharge pack comes with like the 200 or 300 cards that come in the game.
Cool.
Okay.
And it's our first game, I think, took 15 minutes.
Oh wow!
I'm not even kidding. It's so fast. It was so fast. I was like, "Oh my god, this game is so fast!" Because it's a worker placement game and you don't have a lot of options. But near the end, now in game 8, so we played games 1 through 6 all in one day. Like just a Saturday, we went from noon to midnight and played 6 straight games. Okay. Then we went to BGG Con and I got sick, so we couldn't get back to it. And so the first game back took 2.5 hours.
Oh.
But then that was game 7, and then in game 8 took us like an hour because we got back into the flow. It took like because you're trying to relearn what everything does, right? And then once we played one game, did another game, that game took like half the time as the first game. So hopefully we can get back to it. Hopefully we get back to it and knock it out. We didn't play the whole entire game we didn't spend the entire Saturday playing because I wanted to play Hunt for the Ring badly. Like that was definitely on the top of my list to get through.
All right.
So we split
that's
the day.
That's the hard part for legacy games for me, is getting a group of people that we can commit to getting through it.
Yeah, you're really committing. At least with this one, it's going to be like 4 full days probably of gaming. I mean, that's just playing that game, right?
Yeah. Well,
so you got legacy games they're challenging, like for people in the industry who want to or must play a lot of different games, right? So
yeah, exactly.
To spend an inordinate amount of time on one game versus like covering 20 games. It's a little bit challenging. And I got Pandemic Legacy season 2 sitting here too.
Oh boy.
I love season 1. Season 2 looks to be just as good. So it's another big and then you've got Gloomhaven and Kingdom Death Monster and
yeah, too many games.
You could just play those games and be happy for a year.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, I think it's time for us to move on to our last segment and our Babble topic.
Okay. I'm unprepared. There's the graphic. There's the graphic. Bing! Where's the music? And now it's time. Oh, the music over here. Why am I looking at the TV screen when the music's over here?
We had it before.
Yeah, it's over here.
And now it's time for the Babble, 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 Berkey and Badger's board game Babble.
That's so cool. That's great.
Well, basically today's Babble topic is probably going to take us maybe a little bit down memory lane. Barry, you want to kind of give us a little topper there of what you're thinking?
I'll do the voice for the podcast. Here in Babblot, the babbling is going on and on about, that's my favorite game because, I love the art and I love the theme and I love the mechanisms and I love the author and I love the box insert and I love this little chit which just does nothing in the game. But sometimes there's a game that we have sat on our shelves which is not exactly the game that fits all of those kinds of I'm slipping into Pycelle now. But these games, they're not the ones that fit these kind of categories. And so we're going to talk about those types of games that they only have like a few strings that keep pulling us back into playing them. So we shall start with Barry. Barry, go ahead and take away the game and talk about a game that you like, which is ugly or not very nice. Fudge knows what I was doing there.
That was great.
I'm looking at the script and I'm thinking, did I write that? Okay, all right. Okay, let's look at Scott because Scott's got a nice room and I'm trying to guess what those chibis are in the back there. Yeah, so we talk about games that, for some reason, as a reviewer, let me talk as a reviewer. As a reviewer, I take a game and I like to praise it for all its good bits. The art has got to be good. The mechanisms of the game have got to be good. The components have got to be good. The insert's got to be good. The rules have got to be good. Everything's got to be like top-notch level to get high score with a board game reviewer. But there's some games on my shelf that I would give, if I was to rate it on all those kinds of things, it would probably get half of what it really deserves. But they're games that I love playing. I mean, I'm going to admit, I love playing Uno. I don't have a problem playing Uno. But all that is a deck of cards with numbers and colors on it. But that doesn't stop me from playing it. Okay, so we're going to be talking about other games that just have a few little strings dangling from them, which we keep pulling because we like playing it.
Yep. Hence all the strings of our memes, pulling at your heartstrings, right?
Yes. My heartstring is pulled. For example, my heartstring is pulled with Resistance. Resistance is a great, fun game that I love playing. Why? It's because of the ambience that it generates. It's the interaction with the other players. The game is just cards and tokens, and the artwork is and the rulebook doesn't even give you any theme about what's going on. The theme comes out in whoever's playing. Especially if I'm playing, I'll introduce a theme. I'll introduce a mission for each of the missions, and I'll make it something stupid like we need to put a bomb in the toilet so when the president goes and has a pee-pee, he blows off his thingy. But it's those little things which make the game fun. And then there's the whole deduction element. I love playing I love playing it, but it's just poor quality. It's just it's just a weak production. I mean, again, it's very hard probably to make that a top quality production game with a nice box insert and these stellar components. But it's just a game that I love playing, and it's just that one string that pulls me back to it is the fun that I have interacting with the other players.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a list of games, Scott, that do that for you?
I've trying to think of a few. There's one that I keep coming back to, and I don't know why, and no one else in my group likes it, but I inflict it on them every once in a while when I can. It's Tanz der Hornochsen, which is Six Nimmt the board game, which I think a lot of people probably haven't heard of.
Oh, right.
But you know Six Nimmt, where you're putting in the cards in a row, and if you're the last person in that row, you have to take the row, and the bullheads score you.
Mm-hmm.
Now the board game version of that is very much like this, except there's a couple. It's a tile laying game, so you're putting the numbers on the tiles on the board. But there's a couple like action spaces that do certain things in the game, like reverse direction or change the scoring for that turn or something like that. So there's a little bit of kind of like manipulation with that. It's not just straight up the card game, but it's one of those games that is kind of bad in that like there's only one loser instead of winners. You know what I mean? Like those kind of games, a lot of people don't really like them because I lost the game. But for some reason, the Tanz der Hornochsen, the art on it is just so goofy. It's all these like bulls like falling over themselves and like bulls in weird scenes and stuff in the bullpens, and like there's a big dung heap at the end of the board, like on the because you go to 50, right? And like the person that hits 50 falls in the dung heap and they lose. Like, that's the game. It's not a great game. I think the rating, I mean, like pretty kind of average. Oh, it's got a pretty good rank, actually. It's ranked in the top 1000. It's ranked 562. But kind of one of those weird games that I just always like have a place in my heart for. That's kind of one of those games that's gone back. It was a 10-year anniversary of Six Nimmt is when it came out. So,
okay. Well, I've got one that kind of brings a little bit more of a nostalgic feel, and because I used to play this back in high school, and I haven't played the new one, but my son and I have pulled this out a couple different times. But it's Eagle Gryphon made a new version of it. The game is broken. You can defeat this game, but for some reason we like it, and it's the old Milton Bradley game called Conquest of the Empire.
Okay, it's broken.
It's broken. Whoever gets the most catapults wins.
Oh,
it's that simple. Now I don't know if the new Eagle Gryphon rule set did something different about it, but we just like that game. We'll play through the whole thing, realizing that one of us is going to get the catapult, and there's nothing you can do about it. You got one more catapult. More than likely, you're going to win. But it sprawls out. It's beautiful. It's got all great components. It's that Axis and Allies big box thing that you did back when you were in high school, and I don't know. It just pulls at my heart because I think nostalgia is probably the reason, not because it's this great game.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, nostalgia is, I think, part of why we keep some of these games which really look really poor and crappy. For me, Hero Quest, I've still got it on my shelf. I need to get rid of it because it's taken up space. I'm not going to play it. The mechanics nowadays suck in comparison to other games that are out there. And the art's okay. The rule book is not very comprehensive. I think the nostalgia keeps that on my shelf, but as I said, it's something that's going to go away. Actually, what I was going to say was the Dungeons and Dragons board game, which is similar to Hero Quest. I kept that game for one reason alone, and that was because the dice mechanic I liked for fighting. It was a Hero Quest ripoff, literally, the same kind of rules and mechanics, but it had this dice combat, which now is in Conan, which, now I've got Conan. Bye-bye, Dungeons and Dragons. I've replaced you. That was the only reason I kept that game. A dice mechanic.
Yeah. I've got another one. that I think is probably universally reviled by most people in board games, even though it sells a ton. I think it's Talisman.
Talisman.
I think well, there's definitely a group of us that love the game. Like it has a nostalgia. It was like one of those games I played in college, and I just remember spending hours at night playing it. And it's not a great game. Like the game mechanics of it are not awesome. You just roll the dice, right? It's like a ton of dice rolling. Like you said, it's got that weird combat mechanism. Just roll high, you'll do well. There's some ways to mitigate dice in that game, but it's totally not that type of game. But it just has so many expansions and so many cool Games Workshop-y. Like if you know the Games Workshop lore, like it's that kind of game. It brings you back into that world, which I think a lot of people grew out of after they found Euro games, because they're less luck driven and less like Ameritrashy, I guess. So it's like one of those original Ameritrash games, even though it's Games Workshop. It's one of those games that's in my heart, and I would play it any moment. And I want to play it one day with every expansion. Like I just haven't ever done that, so I would love to give that a try.
Do you think anyone would make a legacy version of it?
Legacy Talisman? Well, then then it turns into an RPG game, right? And then you're kind of like, tear up that monster.
Well, I have another one that I played last year at Dice Tower Con, and so it's not one that I'm. It does make me think I should go get it though, and it's most people, they rag on Monopoly, and we all know that roll and move is not the most exciting thing, but back in the day, we played Monopoly like crazy. I mean, for hours, we'd bring friends over, we'd flip the table. It creates all those horrible moments, but we played the heck out of it, and it was a staple. But I played Monopoly Gamer, and that's the new one with all the cool little chibi miniatures and all that kind of stuff. Played it with Trey and Mariana Lennox.
It's all the Mario stuff in it, right?
Yeah, it's got all the Mario stuff in it. And, you're just rolling and moving, and you're dropping stuff, and you're losing stuff, and you're picking it back up. But, man, we just had so much fun with it. And I can't say that that's a great design board game, and people would kind of mock it. But a lot of people that actually played it, they really enjoyed just the experience of the theme and a little bit of that Monopoly nostalgia, without it being Monopoly, and it played so much quicker.
Talking about Monopoly, I'm gonna talk about my guilty pleasure. My guilty pleasure is I have 3 shelves worth of board games, and I keep them due to the fact that they are themed on Asterix, and I'm a fan of Asterix. But I have Asterix Monopoly. I have Asterix Cluedo. I have Asterix Snakes and Ladders. I have Asterix Taboo. I have Asterix Trivial Pursuit. All sat there. I'm probably not going to play them very soon. I'm going to wait for my son to grow up a bit more, because he'll like to play Snakes and Ladders or something like that. But that's my guilty pleasure. They're games which are not great. There's actually some tarot cards, and it's just a deck of tarot cards. You can learn to play tarot. But that's my guilty pleasure. They just sit on my shelves. They look nice because they're in like book form. They look like the Asterix books. They have the cover, so they're themed, and so the game is themed on the theme of the book cover. Yes, I am an Asterix junkie, Kabuki. Yes, but they are my guilty pleasure. I will treasure them for the rest of my life. They will take up those 3 spaces, which I should really reserve for mythic battles. But hey ho, have you got any guilty pleasures?
I think every shelf has some shelf like that where you're never going to get rid of that stuff, even though you'll never play it. I have all the Lego games. That's a guilty pleasure.
Oh,
those Lego board games that came out a couple years ago? I collected all of those, and they're just sitting there. I'm like, I don't think I'll ever play them, but there they are.
There they are.
They're just Lego. Yeah.
They're Lego, and they are a game, but they're not really moves, aren't they?
The one from Reiner has actually got a little bit of, from what I understand. I haven't played it, but you can manipulate the dice. You can change the dice faces. It's a customizable game. So, but I think, and there's a dungeon crawl which I been planning to. I wanted to. Always planned to try it, but I just never got to it. It was a dungeony.
I played the pyramid one.
That's the one from
Egyptian
Reiner. Yeah. That's Egyptian.
Okay.
Yeah, I played that, and I did see the other week at a car boot sale someone was selling the Star Wars one.
Right, there's the little Battle of Hoth with the. Yep, they're sitting there. Believe me, they're collecting dust, unfortunately, but
yeah,
I don't think I'll ever get rid of them.
I was contemplating picking them up.
I always tend to most gamers tend to, I don't see as many just old style card games being played by gamers. I know at BGG Con, Patrick Hillier and I try to always do this, but we'll play cribbage, just standard cribbage. And when I was dating my wife, we would play cribbage all the time when she was in college. And when I go to my dad's house, we play cribbage, and we play a variety of little simple dice games. And those things are still, I enjoy those as much as any board game that I play when we sit down and have that moment and play cribbage.
Yeah.
Like euchre. Play euchre.
I have played it before, but not much.
That was our family game, euchre. And cribbage.
Our family game resembled the Great Damuti, trick-taking game like that. And so Great Damuti is in my collection. It's an ugly game. It's a small deck of cards, but we had a couple of hats, and we'll play that for an hour after lunch, and we just swap chairs. Yeah. It is just such a fun game.
Do you play it where the king can tell the people what to do and order them around and things like that?
Yes, but it gets a bit out of control when my daughter starts asking for things like chocolate.
Chocolate ice cream.
Yeah. I want chocolate sandwiches and I want chocolate ice cream now. And the peon has to do that. Normally it's my mum. And so my mum actually the peon. My mum's the peon.
We had a cape for the king.
Yeah.
The little cape to wear. So dumb. We definitely played my share. I've definitely played my share of Great Damuti.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting when you think about what we're talking about, and how games have evolved and how our gaming tastes and understanding has evolved over the years. The things we enjoy now. If we would have been, all this would have been dropped on us now, or back then. I mean, we would have just been like, overloaded, right?
I think that's a big challenge for the hobby right now to get into it. Is just like, where do you start? There's so many things. So
you start with what you know and start with what you like.
Yeah.
There's so many IPs and themes and stuff nowadays. I mean, when I got into it, it was all dungeon crawling stuff. I wanted dungeon crawling stuff. That's how I found Board Game Geek. I want some more expansions for Hero Quest. Yeah.
Well, I think we've pretty much exhausted our Babble topic here. I want to just again, Scott, thank you so much for coming on the show with us again. It's just such a pleasure.
Appreciate it. Yeah, thanks.
No, it's you do a lot of great work in the hobby, and it's much appreciated. Your website has done a lot for the hobby. Your convention, your presence, all of that. It's much appreciated.
Well, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
And I'd like to just give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Arcane Wonders, as well. They've got the great Dice Tower Essential line of games. Right now, one of the big titles out there is Viral, and you can pick that up for Christmas. The Sheriff of Nottingham, the new Merry Men expansion is out, and that's a super fun expansion. And they've got new laws in that's really cool. You can take advantage of that. And then Onitama, a great little abstract game. And the new expansion for that is out called Sensei's Path. And of course, you can always you like Liar's Dice, you like some bluffing. Sheriff of Nottingham, if you've got that and you want another version, you can get Spoils of War, the great dice game from them. And of course, there are other titles perfect for Christmas. If you go to arcanewonders.com, they actually have a special on different bundles that you can take advantage of for Christmas. So join them for all those great titles at Arcane Wonders, and very thankful for their support as well. So I think with that, Barry, do you have any closing words?
Yeah.
Thanks.
I'm hungry. I'm sure you are too.
I can live off storage for a couple months.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of your meat feasts. Thinking it's a bit too late for me to eat meat. Oh well. No, thank you very much. Thank you, Scott. And keep up your great work for the BGG. And remember, go and support BGG as well, and get them through another year.
Yeah, the annual fundraising is still running, isn't it?
Yep, it'll run through the end of the year.
Yeah.
Tell us just a little bit about that, and then plug your sites, how people can get a hold of you.
Yeah, we're just doing the annual fundraiser for Board Game Geek, and basically to spend it on servers and employees and all that stuff that goes along with running the company, keeping everything running. The you do get the badge for we don't sell the badge years, the ones that go into your avatar beyond the year, even though I've had people begging me to get that to fill in the hole. Like, I feel terrible because I know the OCD feeling of that if you're missing a year. So 2017, once the clock ticks over, it's gone. So, and we appreciate all the support. It's been great this year. We're already on record year. So,
wonderful.
Yep. BoardGameGeek.com, Twitter. Follow us Twitter. Board Game Geek TV on YouTube. We've got game night. Lincoln is coming on full time to do that in actually tomorrow is his first official day. It's kind of crazy. So game night is going to be a little bit more amped up. And what else we got going on? We got the new convention. So we talked about BGG Con, but we also have the spring BGG Con too, which is basically BGG. It's BGG Con, but it's in the spring weekend of Memorial Day. So
are tickets open for that now?
Tickets are on sale right now, and I think our early bird is still going. So check that out.
Awesome. Cool. And then you've got the BGG store that you can take advantage of a lot of recent.
We just got this new chatty boy, one of the guys who works with me. He designed and created a silicone bit bowl.
Oh. So
it lays flat. It's a flat piece of silicone, but you can snap the corners on it, and it makes it into a bowl. And we got 12 colors, I think, that we just got in. So those are on sale now.
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah. What are they for?
Sorry. So they're kind of like you hold bits and stuff in them. You can put dice.
Yeah, you can have all your little components and all this stuff.
But the thing about them is they lay flat. Like when you're done with them, you can just unsnap them and you can put them in the box. So
okay.
Don't use it for cereal burial.
I don't know if it'll hold milk. The corners aren't watertight.
Yeah, you imagine you got your table topper there, and you got you snap it into place, right?
Yeah, so you put all your bits in those little things, and you can grab them out. Keeps them organized.
Oh, cool.
No, but he created it and manufactured it, got it manufactured, and did the whole thing. So it's pretty cool that he pulled that off.
Wow, cool. Yeah. Always nice to have an accessory.
Well, and you can also, if you'd like to hear more of Berkey and Badger, you can always go to our Board Game Geek Guild 2248, and you can join us in the discussion. We have periodic polls that we put up, that Barry puts up, and that we can go through. In addition to that, you can join us at Podcast Garden, or join us on iTunes or Stitcher Radio at Berkey and Badger. On Twitter, Berkey and Badger, and Facebook, Berkey and Badger. So Berkey and Badger's everywhere. Just check us out, and you can get the professional audio version of this episode 50, with our special guest, Scott Alden. So send us away there, Barry.
Okay. Thank you very much, everyone. Good night.
We're so glad we had this time together, and now it's time to go. It won't be long until we have another show. So keep us in mind, get online. Berkey and Badger will be back. You know.